Okay, it looks like we are live on this Thursday. And how is everyone doing this week? We have eclipses, full moons, Mercury retrograde. We have just a lot of changes here with springtime and the change of the new season. And yeah, so a lot of things can be coming up for different people around this time. And I thought because what I'm navigating lately and what I know a lot of other people are navigating lately are triggers that are coming up very intensely. And it could be related to the astrological events. I'm not an astrology expert. It could be related to different things that are going on in your life. But but triggers have been coming up for me lately and different people in my life. And how do we navigate these triggers, right? So that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about like one, what is a trigger? What happens when you're triggered? What happens when you trigger other people, right? Because it goes both ways. And then I'm also going to talk about a method that you can use to use EFT tapping to tap your way through a trigger. So it's a really simple process that has helped me tap through many, many, many triggers in my life. And so I'll briefly just share it with you. So today's video might be more of a little bit more instruction than it will be actual tapping, but I'll show you that quick technique, that simple 3-step technique that you can use on your own. Just a brief overview, and then I'll pick an example of a trigger, and we can tap through that example. So, what is a trigger? So, a trigger is when maybe something happens or someone does something that sets your nervous system off. You have an emotional response to it that is strong, and your body is telling you this. Your trigger is something you feel in your body. You feel maybe like your heart rate go up. You feel maybe like a sense of like your thermostat's rising, and you feel anger, or you feel sadness, or you feel something that you've felt before that's been uncomfortable, or maybe you have a memory that pops up, right? Maybe you have something from your past that you're reminded of that still is wanting to be seen and heard and brought love to. So I remember a time in my life, maybe, I guess maybe all of my life really, because I was never taught how to deal with emotional triggers and how to bring love to those places, to bring love to those emotions, those negative emotions that were strong. And I feel like I used to hold on to things for so long because I didn't know how to process them, right? So maybe something would trigger me and I would just like someone, let's do an example, right? So someone might say something to me that I found really like insulting or hurtful. And I would sit on it and dwell on it and stew on it like for days and days and days. And it would just drain me. It would just suck the life out of me, right? To the point where like that's all I could think of. That thought loop kept going around and around and around in my mind. And it really held me back from being fully present in my life and fully participating in what was actually going on in my life at the time. And so I I was really hijacked at the time with things that would trigger me and set me off, and just holding on to that emotion over time the thought loop becomes stronger and the emotion gets stuck in your body. If you don't process it, if you don't feel it, if you don't release it, it gets stuck in your body. And that is a huge cause of physical illness. And I saw this a lot when I worked in physical therapy with people that they were just really holding on to a lot of, when I would work with them, I would hear their stories. Like we would be doing exercises and I would hear their stories about their childhoods or about things that were going on in their life now. And I could see they would get, you know, they would be feeling those same emotions over and over again. And they were just reliving that same reality over and over and over again. And it was so painful for them that they didn't know how to process it. And all that emotion gets stuck in the body energetically and manifests as pain and physical illness and like a whole host of other things, mental illness, all kinds of different things can happen when we stuff down and repress our emotions. So, how do we let our how do we not let our triggers hijack us when we're triggered by something or someone or some situation? We're usually set off because it is similar to like something that has happened in the past that we're holding on to and that we haven't fully processed. So, EFT tapping is a great way to move through those stuck emotions, especially if you do like when I do a deep dive tapping session with people, like a longer session, this an hour and a half, we can actually go back to, the memory or that place in the past when um, when these things started happening. So you might have a trigger in the present, right? But it might not actually be about what's happening in the present. It might be about what's happened like sometime like way, way back in the past, like years and years and years ago. So it's just something to explore. So a lot of times when I do these longer sessions with clients, I find that like they are able to uncover like the root cause of why they're still getting triggered over something like, and it's usually something that's happened like in the past that they may have even completely forgotten about. And they see how they're holding on to that or like we're recreating that over and over again in their life currently. And then by tapping through it, we can realize that like, hey, I can drop the storyline at any time. I can create a new reality. I can feel more empowered and free. And I don't have to live with this like going forward. Like I can choose right now in the present moment to move forward from the point where I'm at right now. And so that is really fun and empowering to see someone as they work themselves through a process and just having a witness and being guided through something like that is just so powerful. Like I know for myself, like I've been led through deep dive taps that have just like blown me away in terms of like what's coming up um, from like my past and how it is currently playing out in the present moment, right? And just being in that space of being held with a lot of love and compassion by another human being seen and heard fully in my full expression. It's just such a liberating feeling. It's just such a beautiful thing to have that space to be fully authentic and fully expressed. And that's a lot of what EFT tapping does. It just gives you an outlet to be fully expressed. You can move through those things instead of holding on to them and holding on to them for so long. And then there's other things to do to help move energy in those stuck emotions, embodiment practices like dancing, any sort of like free form movement are super powerful for me. Writing, as always, journaling is super powerful for moving through and discovering more about yourself and your triggers. So, highly recommend just also free writing if you're triggered about something. Free writing helps a lot. Dancing to your favorite music, just moving your body and just letting yourself express. Get into a space where you can be fully expressed. If it's alone by yourself, out in the woods, in your car, just any place where you feel like you could be free and and move your body. Like moving your body is so important too. Like we can sit and tap, and I love tapping, but I also just like I adore body movement. Like my body almost craves it as a form of expression, to move through things that I'm going through. So those are a few things that are coming up for me around triggers. Um, so let's talk about what happens when you're triggered and what happens when you trigger someone else. So lately, I have found that not only have I been triggered by a lot of things that are going on in my life right now, people and situations, I also realize and understand that I have been triggering people around me too. And it's it's a thing where I'm just being myself. And so I think when you are more fully expressed, when you are just being yourself, you're going to trigger other people sometimes. And that's okay. And I talked about this in a reel I did earlier this week. Like, if you know you're triggering someone, like, it's okay. You don't have to change who you are. You don't have to like fawn or people please or like make sure they're okay because they're adults. They're adults and they can take care of their emotions just like you're an adult and you can take care of your own emotions. That's why you're here watching this because you're going to take responsibility and love yourself by taking good care of yourself and your emotions. And if other people are triggered by you, they can do the same, right? They can do the same. And you don't have to dance around people. You don't have to change like who you are or what you're doing. Um, and if you see that you are really um, in a situation that is not good, then you can remove yourself from the situation. Like you don't have to emotionally caretake. Just remove yourself from the situation and um, get some space and get some distance because that person probably needs some space and some distance. And then they can take care of themselves. And on the other end, if we talk about being triggered by someone else or a situation or something that's going on around you, it's something to look at because triggers are information. It's information about yourself. It's information. And you want to really go into that space and say, okay, well, you know, once the thermostat has come down a little bit, which you can do through dancing or tapping or journaling, once the thermostat has come down, you might want to say, oh, hey, why is this person triggering me? Why did this situation set me off? Why am I feeling such strong emotion around this? Because triggers are information, they are clues to where your work is as a human being. And this doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. And also putting out there as a newsflash, and I'm really sorry for this. Actually, I don't know if I should say I'm really sorry for this, but like you're always going to be, there are always going to be times in your life when you are triggered. Like there's never going to be a time in your life when you're not going to be at some point. Now, does that mean that it's going to happen often or all the time? The frequency will probably change and the things that you're triggered around will change as you evolve and grow. And your triggers will be less and less over time. But as a human being evolving on this planet, it's like part of the healing journey that we always, a lot of people think they're going to get there or arrive at a destination where they're going to be completely healed and they're never going to be triggered at all. But that's just not true because it's part of being a human on this planet. It's part of life and it's a part of learning and evolving. And it's actually a gift if you look at it that way. So your triggers can be gifts to you to really examine the why behind things and like why does this person trigger me? Oh, are they invading a boundary? Do I invade boundaries? Like the thing that you see in others is also something that you see in you. So we're mirrors of each other. So you see someone who just triggers you or drives you crazy because they're loud and they speak their truth. Maybe you have that part of you that is wanting to be loud and speak your truth, right? Or maybe someone triggers you because they're always like sneaking around and kind of humble and people pleasing, and that really drives you nuts. Well, you know what? There's probably a part of you that does the same thing. And this is a really interesting thing to look at. Um, because the people in your life come through and come into your life as reflections and mirrors of you. And we all have different views of the world. We all have different lenses that we see our life through. And we essentially, I believe, we draw people into our lives at various times to actually trigger us and teach us lessons about ourselves so we can grow and evolve on our own human path and our own human journey. So, that situation that you might be resisting or that situation that happened, it was there to teach you something along the way. So it's just a examination of what's what's really going on for you. What's really going on for you. Um, does that mean you need to push away the feelings? No, that doesn't. Let yourself get angry. Let yourself be sad. Let yourself be um, feeling however you're feeling about the situation. You can let that energy move through you in a healthy way so it doesn't spill out um, and create chaos around you. Because I did that for a long time because I was so triggered all of the time by so many things. It just felt chaotic in my mind. And that chaos in my mind um, it came out as chaos in my outer world manifested. And so it is a beautiful thing of self-care if you can take care of yourself and really take a look at what's going on for you when you're dealing with triggers. So let's see, let me get a glass of something to drink. So I'll just share a little bit about EFT tapping and the 3 steps I use or that are used to tap through a trigger, something that's got an emotional charge to it. And the goal is not to get rid of the feeling, right? I'd actually thought this for a while in my tapping journey that, like, okay, if I just tap enough, if I just keep tapping all the time, if I just keep tapping all the time, then I'll be able to like get rid of all my emotions and just get rid of all this negativity that I feel. And and that's just not the case because um, like by pushing something away and by resisting it, it actually increases. And I felt this week because I felt a lot of anger this week. I'm not going to lie. And I've tried to dance my way through it, tap my way through it. Like, I've melted in a puddle on the floor and just cried. And all of those, like, all of those expressions have come from a place of like letting go of, like, having to let go of resistance, like being in a space where, oh, this is like finally so uncomfortable that I have to let go of resisting feeling it. And then once you let go and resist that feeling, it melts and softens a little bit. Doesn't mean the charge is going to go away immediately, but you'll find over time with that immediate calming of the nervous system that it is easier to come back to a centered place where you're able to see things more objectively. So, to tap through a trigger or something that's highly emotionally charged, the first thing that we do is we identify what it is and we just say it out loud. So that's step number one. Identify and say what it is out loud. So let's give an example here. You might, hmm, you might be triggered because someone has um, said something rude or made fun of you, right? And it makes you really angry and upset. So you would just start by tapping on the different points. And you tap through the points, and maybe you would say something like, you could just go on a little rant and just say what happened. Like, I'm feeling, and then name your emotions. I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling frustrated. I'm feeling pissed off. I'm feeling, dejected. I'm feeling frustrated. I'm feeling, and then just name like every emotion that you can feel regarding the situation at hand. And then just say out loud how you feel about what happened. Maybe you're like, oh, I'm so pissed off that, you know, that Bobby is insulted me and like, what a jerk. And you say all these things out loud. I feel like he's such a jerk. I can't believe this happened. It feels really uncomfortable. I can't stand it. And you just go on a little rant and you go through the tapping points and you just say exactly how you feel. I can't stand to be around him. He always pisses me off. Like all of these things, you can go through the different points and just say how you feel. So you're identifying what's actually happening. Maybe you're giving a voice to the things that you couldn't say to the person, or you couldn't say about the situation, or that you couldn't say out loud to somebody else. So when you're tapping, make sure you're in a safe space. So you're in a car or in a private, um, room, you're away from distractions, in a place where your nervous system has the capacity and ability to relax. And just tap your way through the points while you're identifying what's happening and how you're feeling about it. So that's step number one. And step number two, once you've gone through the story and all of the emotions around it, everything that's happening for you, speaking your authentic truth out into the world. Step number two is to bring love and acceptance to it. And how do we bring love and acceptance to it? Well, you keep tapping through it, and I'll give you some sample statements. So you might say a statement like, even though I feel so angry, I love, honor, and accept myself. Say, like, even though I'm feeling so much rage, I love, honor, and accept myself, even though I'm experiencing all this frustration. I'm still a good person and I'm worthy of love, even though I'm in resistance to what's happening. I can accept that this is how I feel. And my favorite, even though I'm feeling so sad, angry, frustrated, I'm still a good person and I'm worthy of love. And you just keep tapping and keep tapping on these love statements until you start to feel the thermostat slowly go down. And sometimes you might have to tap for a while for that to happen. And while you're tapping, deep breaths through the process will help a lot. So, inhaling through the nose, exhaling out the mouth. And you'll find that that helps to bring the charge down as well. A lot of people end up um, like yawning or burping, and both of those things are just signs that energy is circulating and moving through the body. So it's a good thing. I tend to be a yawner. Like I can tell you, my tapping buddies will tell you I'm a serial yawner. And I just yawn my way through the taps and it feels good. I can feel like the energy moving and the expression opening up as I yawn. So, and that happens for you, just go with it. Feels good. So, once you bring a lot of love to the issue and you feel that they're thermostat going down, you can introduce some acceptance statements. Like, even though this is happening, I accept how I feel. Even though I have resistance, I'm willing to accept how I feel. So you can use the words willing to, even though you don't quite fully believe it at the time. And this is where we start to create a bridge that goes over the river to bring you into a place of more clarity and ease and acceptance of what happens. So you keep tapping as the charge goes down. And you might say, I'm willing to, even if you're not quite there yet, I'm willing to love and accept myself. I'm willing to be open to the possibility that, um, this situation is temporary. I'm willing to be open to the possibility that I'm always guided and loved. I'm willing to be open to the possibility that I'm right where I'm meant to be in the moment. I'm willing to be open to the possibility that I'm learning a lot here. I'm willing to be open to the possibility that I don't have to change anything or that where I'm at is okay. And so starting to introduce these statements is step number 3, where we introduce new possibilities. So once those willingness statements feel true to you, you can introduce the it might be possible that statements. Okay, it's possible that I could love myself through this. It's possible that this is a temporary situation. It's possible that things could turn out differently. It's possible that things could turn out better than I imagine. It's possible that, and then you just think about new possibilities like that you could introduce to yourself. But the thing is, they have to feel true to you and congruent with what you believe. So you might have decreased the charge on someone who triggers you. And your new possibility might be that it's possible I can accept this person, that it's possible I can love myself and create distance from this person. Or it's possible I could, and then you introduce new possibilities. It's possible I could see the situation with more clarity. And all of these new possibilities that come up. And what I tell people that is very powerful when you're introducing new possibilities in your life, if you've come to like a clarifying moment where you start to feel or see things more clearly. Because remember, what's happening, we're just verbalizing the truth of what's real for us. And what I tell people when they're introducing new possibilities is just to imagine their life as if, right? Imagine as if the situation were different, the problem were resolved, you know, imagine if you were living this life that is free of, the heaviness, the initial charge, and the initial issue that you were dealing with. So just imagine new possibilities of what you'd want your life to look like going forward. And I really encourage people to go all in with this, go all out with this, and just let yourself actually um, like be creative and really go for it. Because sometimes we hold ourselves back in what we think is possible for us, or what we like realistically and logistically think is possible for us, but it's not what we actually want. So I think staying what kind of life we actually want and what we actually want to create, what kind of new visions and new possibilities we actually want to bring in is so super powerful. So just thinking about those type of things, what the empowered, embodied, calm, regulated, and clear you would look like going into the future, and just meditating on those possibilities. And then after you've given yourself a session or received a session from someone, I tell people it's a great idea to get out a pen and paper and just journal about your experience, because oftentimes afterwards, sometimes in the hours or days afterwards, even, like something will just pop in, like some random um, piece of clarity will pop in to your mind about an action step to take, a new idea to embody, or a realization about a situation when you're seeing things through a different lens, like, oh my gosh, I didn't see that this could be this way. And so it's super important to just, journal after your session, but just pay attention to what's happening in your life in the hours and days after you've tapped, and just what's coming through for you when you're in a calmer space. So that is the 3 steps that I use to tap my way through a trigger, or tap my way through something that feels really emotionally heavy. And let's see, I could do a short tap with you, just demonstrating this process with the basic emotion. So let's just go with anger, because it's there. We were talking about that earlier. So let me get a drink of water, then I'll tap us through it. This isn't actually water, it's like vitamin C. It's really good. I've been craving cold drinks lately. All right, so find a comfortable seat, a comfortable space, and I'll just have you close your eyes. And we'll do some grounding breaths. So place your feet on the floor. Deep breath in through the nose, and then exhale out the mouth. Making a sound. 2 more really deep. Inhale, expanding the lungs side to side. And then exhale loudly. And then 1 more deep inhale. And exhale. And let's just start by tapping all over your body. So just tap in different places, just to kind of get into your body and wake up your body a little bit. You've been sitting for a little bit. So just tap all over. And this is a great grounding practice too, if you find yourself stuck in freeze mode or fight or flight. If you're triggered by something, just tap all over your body. Tap, tap, tap everywhere. Tap your arms, your legs, your head, chest, back, everywhere. And then we'll start by tapping on the center of the chest. Taking a deep breath in. Big exhale. And I'll just have you repeat after me, changing the word if it doesn't feel congruent to who you are or what you're feeling. I'm feeling so angry, or whatever else you're feeling. Tell me how you're feeling. Sad, frustrated. I'm feeling so angry. And let yourself feel it. Close your eyes and really feel that emotion. Whatever it is, anger, sadness, frustration. Deep breath in and a big exhale. And tapping underneath the ribs. I'm feeling really, really angry, frustrated, sad. How are you feeling? And it's because this happened. And tell me what happened. I'm just going to give you a second or two to go for it. I want you to really tell me what happened. And just take a deep breath into that. And a big exhale. And tapping on the side of the ribs here. And it makes me feel really, and how does the situation make you feel? What you just told me. And even though I feel this way, I love, honor, and accept where I'm at here. Take a deep breath in. Big exhale. Tapping the top of the head. Even though I'm feeling all of this, and name the emotion, I'm still a good person. And I'm worthy of love. And take a deep breath into that. Big exhale. And then tapping on the eyebrow point. Even though all this is happening, I love, honor, and accept myself. Tapping on the side of the eye. Even though I'm experiencing this challenge, this trigger, I love, honor, and accept where I'm at here. Just tapping underneath the eye. Take a deep breath in. Big long exhale. Even though this is happening, I'm still a good person and I'm worthy of love. And tapping underneath the nose. And I want you to think about that situation, that person, that place where you feel that emotional charge. And I just want you to feel what else is still there, what else is still alive, what emotion. Even though I feel, and tell me what that emotion is. And tell me what happened. I'm still a good person and I'm worthy of love. And then just tapping on the chin. Deep breath in. Big exhale. I want you to feel any sort of resistance that might be coming up about feeling what you're feeling. Is there resistance there? If there is resistance, we just want to acknowledge that resistance. If you have resistance to feeling angry, frustrated, sad, or whatever other emotion you're feeling right now, let's just acknowledge that. I'm feeling some resistance here. Tapping on the chest. Part of me wants to hold on to this, and part of me wants to let this go. What happened, what they did, the situation. I have so much resistance to it. And tapping under the ribs, even though I have all this resistance, I love and honor myself. And I'm willing to accept where I'm at. Or it's possible I'm willing to accept where I'm at, if that's where you're at. There's no pressure to accept something that's forcing and not allowing. Just take a deep breath in, big exhale, examining any resistance that's coming up for you around this. And just breathing your way through it. Big inhale, long, slow exhale. Tapping on the side of the ribs. All this resistance I'm feeling. I want to accept this. But it's really hard right now. Even though I'm feeling this way, I love, honor, and accept where I'm at. Deep breath in, big exhale. Tapping on the thumb. It's possible that I don't have to accept where I'm at. If you're in complete resistance, then just let yourself be in resistance. It's okay. You don't have to accept where you're at. I just want you to feel into how that feels. Does that feel more true for you? Does that feel more congruent with where you're at? It's possible I don't have to accept this. Next finger, it's possible. It's okay to be in resistance. It's possible. It's okay to feel whatever I feel. And I don't have to change it for anything or anyone. Really feel into that. Deep breath in, big exhale. What if we took that pressure off? What if we took that pressure off to try to change how we feel? I want you to feel it into how that feels in your body. Really feel into what it feels like to take the pressure off. Just take another deep breath in. Big exhale. And tapping on the opposite side of the ring finger. Perhaps it's okay to feel what I feel. Perhaps I don't have to change a thing. It's possible that right where I'm at is okay. And I'm open to the possibility of accepting where I'm at. I don't have to change how I feel. I can take the pressure off. Deep breath in, big exhale. And feel that in your body. Does that feel more congruent? Does that feel more true to who you are? It's possible I can take the pressure off. And I'm open to the possibility that I'll get through this. I'm open to the possibility that right where I'm at is okay. I'm open to the possibility that I don't have to change how I feel or where I'm at around this. Deep breath in, big exhale. And I'm open to the possibility that I can love myself through this. I'm open to the possibility that I can really love myself through this. I'm open to the possibility that where I'm at is okay. I'm open to the possibility that right where I'm at right now is okay. I'm open to the possibility that I'll get through this. And I'm open to the possibility that I'm safe to feel whatever I feel. It's safe to take the pressure off. It's safe to relax a little here. I don't have to change anything. It's safe to be me and it's safe to feel how I feel. Deep breath into that and a big exhale. It's safe to be me. It's safe to be who I am. And it's safe to accept where I'm at. It's safe to accept how I feel. And I'm open to loving myself more through this. I'm open to giving myself more and more and more love. I'm open to loving myself through this because I'm a good person and I'm worthy of love. And I can be loved and accepted right here, right now, exactly as I am. Isn't that true? You can be. You can be loved and accepted just the way you are without changing anything. Because you are love. Your presence on this planet is an expression of divine love. Because you come from love and you are love, you have that inside of you. That love that is always there, no matter how strong the winds blow. It's waiting for you. Take a deep breath into that. Big exhale. And I want you to close your eyes. You can keep tapping on your chest and just imagine yourself going forward. I want you to just imagine yourself feeling safe and relaxed and loved on. I want you to picture yourself in the fullest expression of you, the most free expression of you that gets you really lit up. Just imagining that you're safe and you're loved. However you want to be in the world, however you want to show up with whatever emotions come up. Just knowing that you're always safe and you're always loved. And just really taking a deep breath into that. And a big exhale. I'm willing to love myself through this. And it's safe to relax now. I'm a human being doing the best I can on this planet. And I can be loved for who I am without changing anything. I can be loved for who I am. And it's safe for me to be me in this world. I want you to just gently stop tapping and place your hands on your heart. Close your eyes here. And take a deep breath into that. And a big exhale. And I want you to feel into that place of love and safety that exists in your heart space. Knowing with full confidence that it's safe to be you in the world, that it's safe to feel how you feel, it's safe to be who you are, and that your gifts and your full expression, the full expression of who you are, is needed on this planet. Just as you are. Deep breath in. Big exhale. And let's do 2 more. Deep breath in. Big exhale. And 1 more deep breath in. And a big exhale. Thank you for tapping with me today. And I'm holding you with so much love as you move through whatever it is you're moving through at this time. Please reach out to me if you have any questions about this live or about EFT tapping, I will be doing a masterclass probably sometime at the end of this month, the beginning of next month, where I'll go in a little bit deeper into nervous system regulation, um, and using the tools of EFT and then some other tools that I have in my pocket. So if you liked this instruction about the 3-step process that I used and you want to hear a little bit more in depth about that, join me. I will announce the day and time on my social media. And then I also have a newsletter that I put out that I'll be getting out in the next week. So if you'd like to be added to my newsletter list, it'll tell you everything that I have going on for the month of May and ways to reach out to me. And I'll leave the link in the comments below. And I wish you all a beautiful rest of the week and a beautiful weekend. And please take good care. I love you. Bye.